Showing etiquette. What is that? As buyers, there are a few things that you should know before you go and walk through houses. I'm Bethany Warnches, real estate agent with Addison Jones, and you are watching Tuesday Talks with Bethany, where I answer real estate FAQs. Today, I am going to continue my showing series, and we are in part 2, and I'm going to be talking about showing etiquette and things that you should take into consideration as a buyer when you go out on showings. So let's start with a real life normal scenario that can happen. Say you've scheduled 2 houses for a Saturday, and you go and you drive and you pull up to the first house. Your first showing is scheduled at 10 a.m. Your second showing is scheduled at 10:45 a.m. And you pull up to this first house, and for some reason, you're just already feeling a no. You don't feel like it's the house, and you think, can we just skip it and go to the next house right away? Well, this is where showing etiquette comes in. The thing is, the seller on this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. got their house ready for you, and they left their house and went and did something else so you would be able to come and see it. Now, they have cleaned, they have organized, they've gotten it ready. Now, if you put in all of that work, you would hope that someone would at least walk through it, right? So we're not just going to skip the house because the curb appeal was bad or there was something about the surrounding area that you didn't like. We're still just going to do the courtesy to the seller and take a walk through it so we can leave feedback for the seller, and then maybe they'll know what to improve upon for next time. Also, if we had your first appointment scheduled at 10 a.m. and your second appointment scheduled at 10:45 a.m., we still have 45 minutes to kill. What are we going to do for that time period? So you might as well just walk through it because you can't really get into the next house until later anyways. So again, if you pull up to a house and you're kind of feeling off and you don't like it, we're still just going to walk through and leave feedback because the seller has gotten it ready, and our next appointment, we can't just show up for that 45 minutes early. What about shoes? Do we wear shoes in houses? Do we not wear shoes in houses? If we go in and there is a sign from the seller that asks you to please remove them or wear booties, then we will definitely be removing them or wearing booties. Now, say it's summer, your shoes are clean and dry, there's no sign, then I'll allow you to keep them on. I know that some people feel really weird about going barefoot in houses and would prefer to keep their shoes on. But the important thing is that we are not tracking anything through a seller's house. So we don't want to bring in any mud or dirt or wetness or anything like that. Now, seasonally, there are times when I will make you take your shoes off. So say it's winter and it's wet and it's slushy. We cannot track that through a house. You have to take them off. Or if it's a rainy day, or we have to be conscious. So say we decide to do the yard first before we went through the house, and maybe we picked up some mud, then we need to take our shoes off. So if there's a sign, we for sure take them off. If our shoes are clean and dry and there's no sign, I'll let you keep them on. But the main goal at the end of the day is just no tracking anything through the house whatsoever. What about COVID? Pandemics, going through houses? How does that work? We just lived through a pandemic, and we are hoping that that never occurs in our lifetime again. But during that time period, sellers were requesting buyers to wear masks or gloves or hand sanitize and do all of those things to be able to come through their house. And a seller gets to make their own rules about their own house. So if a seller has a sign that asks you to do such and such, then we just need to respect that and do that. And again, hopefully we won't run into that situation again and have to see another pandemic in our lifetime, but it's just being prepared to follow the seller's rules if they do have them. What about kids? Can I bring my kids along? Yes, you can definitely bring your kids along. But what's really important is just that you keep your kids near you. Keeping them in the same room is ideal and the best. That way kids aren't jumping on beds or playing with toys or running around, touching things or breaking things. It's important to just keep them near to you. Now, say you have a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old who wants to go check out their bedroom while you look at your bedroom. That's okay. You know the level of independence of your child. You know the level of supervision of your child. And I'm going to trust you as a parent to know if your child should be right next to you in the same room, or if you can allow them to be right next door in a bedroom. So I leave that in your hands, but that's just the guideline, especially, with the age, if they're younger, probably better to be with you versus older, allowing them a little more freedom to check things out. Then who else can you bring along to these showings? Well, if you have a trusted friend, or you have a parent, or you have someone that you really value their opinion, you can bring them along to the showing. Now, it's not where you're going to be bringing a whole group of friends or a whole nother family. If there's an extra 1 or 2 people whose opinion really matters to you, you want to bring your parents through before you buy the house, or you want to bring your closest friends, that's fine. But it's not like we're going to have 10 people going through on a showing or something like that. It's just bringing that 1 or 2 close people to you. So when it comes to showing etiquette, I hope this helped you understand some of the guidelines that we should follow as buyers out of respect for sellers. So again, with showing etiquette, if you pull up to a house and you don't love it, we're still just gonna walk through it to be able to leave the seller some feedback. Then shoes, if they're dirty or wet, or if there's a sign, we are definitely going to be taking them off. If a seller requests us to wear masks or something like that, if we're in a pandemic, then we're going to respect that request. Your kids can definitely come along. It's just understanding their level of independence and supervision needed and keeping them close to you if they can't handle, being in a room on their own. And then who else can you bring along? Bringing along 1 or 2 close, trusted people if you feel their opinion is really important to you, but not bringing, a whole group of people to come through as well. So next time when I come on, I'm going to be doing part 3 of this showing series. I am going to talk about the showing itself, what occurs, what information you get, how that logistics of all of that works. So I will see you for part 3.